Greetings, and welcome to our series about BigQuery cost optimization. Our first part in the series is talking about how you can optimize your billing using BigQuery compute. And essentially that means optimizing how are you getting billed for queries that you're running. Let's start with an overview of the BigQuery architecture, just so we're all on the same page about the different methods that are available for optimization. BigQuery is a fully separated storage and compute data warehouse and lakehouse. This means that you only pay for the storage as you store data and the compute as you analyze data. We'll be focusing on compute optimization today. A common unit of compute measurement in BigQuery is called a slot. You can think of a slot as a set of CPU, memory, and disk that is assigned to run a query. A group of slots typically work together to complete a query. Slots can be assigned to a query dynamically, meaning that by query stage, a query may be allocated more or fewer slots based on the compute needs of the query. So BigQuery dynamically allocates these across your queries and Google Cloud projects for query execution. It's important also to note that this means that BigQuery can automatically horizontally and vertically scale for any query or concurrency based on different queries required. Compute can be purchased in two ways in BigQuery, using on-demand, where you're charged for the bytes scanned as a part of the query, and with additions, where you pay for the slot capacity used by your queries. Choosing the method that you want comes down to how much data you typically use, what features you need in order to complete your queries, and what other business-critical things you need based on your organization requirements. It's important to note that you can mix and match your billing here, giving you the ultimate flexibility. The billing method is assigned at the project level. You can have multiple projects with different billing methods, including additions. In the on-demand mode, one method that you have to control your total spend is by setting custom quotas for the maximum amount of bytes processed. This means that you'll limit the number of bytes that a user or across a project can actually be consumed during a day, and helps you to limit things like runaway queries where a user may have accidentally selected something where there's far more data than they actually are allowed to process or should be processing as a part of the query. In the additions model, the first lever that you have is to choose the type of addition that you would like to use to process your data. Check the feature list to see which addition works best for you. And then you can choose based on the type of slots what you'd like to purchase. With both Standard and Enterprise Plus, you can set a maximum level of the number of slots that you'd like to scale up to. In Enterprise and Enterprise Plus, you can also pick a number of baseline slots, which are slots that you will always have guaranteed. These ones can also be purchased. Baseline slots can be purchased at a commitment based on the duration of how long you'd like to have the slots for. Let's look at a simple example here of using multiple projects with a single reservation. You can see here that we have 3 projects, and we have a baseline of 400 slots, which means that we're guaranteed 400 slots across our projects. We can see here that we have our queries start to scale up in both project A and B, so we're incrementally purchasing an additional 400 slots from our baseline, but only for the time that the queries actually need them. And we're dynamically scaling further up to 1,000 slots total, 600 slots of which are auto-scaling, to meet our actual query demand as project C becomes available. Once the query demand goes down, we can see that because there's now only 300 slots required for project C, that we can actually release the reservations for the additional slots that we had for the autoscaler. And as a result of it, now we're back just using our baseline slots. What we've been able to do here is both horizontally and vertically auto-scale and only pay for the capacity when we need it. We hope this is a helpful overview for you to understand how you can optimize your query compute using BigQuery, and then leveraging different components to optimize your spend while getting the best performance. Thanks for your time and happy querying.